The idea of starting a business or launching a side hustle exists in two very different places in most people's minds. The first place is aspiration, the vision of independence, of building something, of income that is not capped by someone else's decision about what you are worth. The second place is the anxiety that lives directly beneath the aspiration, the uncertainty about where to start, the fear of getting it wrong, and the suspicion that there is a large, complicated machine that successful entrepreneurs operate that ordinary people simply do not have access to. This video is about collapsing that distance between the vision and the start. Not the full arc of building a business, but the essential first steps that determine whether an idea becomes something real or remains permanent aspiration. The first milestone is validating the idea before investing significantly in it. The single most costly mistake new entrepreneurs make is building before validating. They develop the product, build the website, register the entity, and order the business cards. And then discover that the market does not want what they built, or not enough people want it to make the economics work, or a competitor is already doing it better. Validation is the discipline of answering the most important question before making the most significant investments. Does this idea solve a real problem that real people will pay real money to have solved? Validation does not require a finished product. It requires conversations with potential customers, at least 10, with people who match the profile of the intended buyer, asking 3 questions. Do you have this problem? How are you currently solving it? What would a better solution be worth to you? The answers will either confirm that the idea addresses a genuine, unmet need at a price that supports the business model, or they will reveal an adjustment needed before a dollar is spent on execution. Businesses that validate before building save significant resources and arrive at product market fit dramatically faster than those that assume their idea is right. The second milestone is business model design, understanding how the business will actually make money. This is not an accounting exercise. It is a strategic clarity exercise. A business model answers 5 questions. Who is the customer? What specific problem does this business solve for them? How will the solution be delivered? How much will customers pay and why? And what are the primary cost drivers that determine whether the model is economically viable? Many would-be entrepreneurs can answer the first 3 questions confidently and struggle significantly with the last 2. The financial viability of a business idea, the unit economics, the volume required for profitability, the cash flow timing between incurring costs and collecting revenue, must be stress tested with realistic assumptions before the business is launched. A back-of-envelope calculation that projects 100 clients at $2,000 each, generating $200,000 in revenue, is not a financial model. A model that includes cost of acquisition, cost of delivery, overhead, taxes, and the timeline to cash in bank is the foundation of a viable business. The third milestone is the minimum viable launch. The discipline of starting with the smallest, simplest version of the business that can generate the first revenue. Many entrepreneurs delay their first sale because they are waiting for the product to be perfect, the branding to be complete, the website to be polished, or the systems to be fully built. Meanwhile, the most critical market intelligence, whether customers will actually pay, remains unvalidated. The minimum viable launch is selling the simplest version of the offer as quickly as possible. The first sale is the most important milestone in any business's history, not because of the revenue, but because of what it proves, that the idea has real commercial viability. Everything built after the first sale is informed by market reality. Everything built before it is informed by assumption. For side hustles specifically, income-generating activities pursued alongside existing employment. The MVP principle is even more powerful because the constraint of limited time demands focus. The side hustler who tries to build a full business infrastructure while working full-time runs out of both time and enthusiasm before the model is validated. The one who validates, sells, delivers, and then systematizes in that order moves from idea to income in a fraction of the time. Here is the trap. Most first-time entrepreneurs underestimate how long it takes to build awareness of a new business and overestimate how quickly customers will arrive once the offering is available. The first year of most businesses is primarily a customer acquisition exercise, not a customer service exercise. Building the channels, the relationships, and the reputation that generate consistent customer flow is slower than most launch plans account for. Planning for a longer runway, financially and psychologically, is one of the most important first steps. Your go-do. Identify the one business or side hustle idea you find yourself returning to most consistently. Write down the answer to this one question. Who specifically would pay money for this, and what would they pay? Then go find 5 of those people and ask them. Building a business requires a plan. The business plan video in this series builds the strategic architecture that turns a validated idea into a scaled operation. That is your natural next step. The legal and financial infrastructure of a new business, the entity structure, the bank accounts, the basic accounting system, the contracts, is the area where many first-time entrepreneurs either overinvest, spending months on formation before validating the idea, or underinvest, launching with no structure and creating complexity later. The balanced approach is to validate commercially before investing significantly in legal and financial structure, and then to structure appropriately once commercial viability is established. The basic structure needs for a small business or side hustle in most jurisdictions are a business bank account, separate from personal accounts, which is both financially and legally protective, a basic bookkeeping system, even a spreadsheet initially, and a simple service agreement or terms of sale that clarifies expectations with customers. These are the minimum viable legal and financial infrastructure. More sophisticated structure, LLC, corporation, complex contracts, follows commercial traction, not precedes it. Pricing is one of the most consistently underestimated strategic decisions for new business owners. The instinct of most first-time entrepreneurs is to price low, to remove price as a barrier during the early period when the offer is unproven and the market is unfamiliar. This instinct, while understandable, is often counterproductive. Low pricing signals low value. It attracts price-sensitive clients who are the most demanding and the least loyal. It creates a margin structure that makes growth economically difficult because the unit economics do not support the operational investment that scale requires. And it is psychologically difficult to raise prices dramatically from a low starting point because clients who accepted the low price feel retroactively exploited by a large increase. Pricing high and delivering exceptional value, then letting the market validate or correct the pricing level, is a more sustainable strategy for most knowledge-based or service-based businesses. The mindset transition required to move from employee to entrepreneur is as important as any tactical or strategic knowledge, and it is among the most underestimated challenges of business launch. Employees operate in environments where structure, feedback, and reward are largely provided by others. Entrepreneurs provide their own structure, must create their own feedback mechanisms, and experience their reward on a timeline that is often longer and less predictable than the bi-weekly paycheck they left behind. The entrepreneurs who sustain momentum through the inevitable ambiguous early period are those who have developed clarity about the purpose behind the venture, the why that is strong enough to navigate the weeks and months when the what and the how are still being figured out. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more practical insights. And if you're ready to go further, check out the next video on your screen.